Astralis taking on MiBR in our headline act for another day here at the FACEIT Major. We are live from London, and we've already had so much action. We've had teams locked in for the top 8, teams' dreams smashed, and this one is for another spot. It's going to be between Astralis and Made in Brazil, two titans of Counter-Strike who most are considering to be the most in shape and in form, and so hopefully a treat for your eyes at home, as are my panelists. I do have Sean Gears and Chad Sponge Birchall, supermodels in their own right, but I'm stealing them for the analysis right now. Chad, have you calmed down?
Yeah, I've calmed down. But I'm excited now because I get like another present coming my way.
Yes.
But this is kind of like we've had all the undercards today, and now this is the main event.
This feels like you've just had a detox with that previous game, and now you're ready for your treatment.
Yeah, that was cathartic. I got to release all my anger at the world.
It's all out. It's all out. Of course, detoxes aren't real. Stop drinking those teas and just go to the gym. But what I want to do instead is get this broken down. We have Astralis going up against MiBR, and already that Astralis Liquid game, Sean, was a sight for sore eyes.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game of Counter-Strike. So that's Astralis' one loss here, and there's really not much to say. I mean, Liquid played a fantastic game. There's tons of anti-strats involved in that game, from the banana play to the nade pits to the one-way smoke and the wrap to kill device. So, I mean, Liquid played lights out right there. You can't really take anything away from Astralis for losing that one.
And there's not too much criticism either. I think, you know, the general consensus when we were breaking it down afterwards was gorgeous Counter-Strike, and Chad, it was just a case of Liquid with a better team on the day.
Yeah, definitely so. And I think right now there are 4 teams who are showing that they have the potential to win this event and
Can
are all
I
playing.
guess?
Yes, you can guess.
Astralis, MiBR, Na'Vi. 4 teams. Astralis.
The one that beat Astralis.
Liquid.
Yes.
I didn't mention that.
Those are the 4 teams, and they're all playing like kind of different brands of Counter-Strike, which is the coolest thing about all of this. But Made in Brazil have a chance to do what Liquid did here and prepare for any weaknesses they can see in that Astralis armor. The problem is Made in Brazil is still kind of proving themselves to be a top team again. So me throwing them in that category might be a little bit premature. They need to show up here and put in a good result.
Yeah, we need to hear from Astralis themselves, because they sat down with our camera crew, and we can hear from those Danish Vikings right here, right now.
I don't think there's any weakness in Danish Counter-Strike at all. We have a really deep and good talent pool with players. So I don't believe there's any weakness. I just think maybe there's not the right amount of people playing together right now. Maybe we could change some teams around, and we will have more teams being in between the 16 best. And we have North as well. Optic is a really good team. They can upset, get to this stage.
The last couple of months has been really great, with both North winning a good tournament last week. And I don't think it's bad luck or anything. I think it's just a matter of consistency. And I think out of all the Danish teams, we are by far the team that has most consistency.
Winning a major would mean everything for us. We have won one before, E-League Major 2017. We just want to have that experience again. That would be nice.
That would mean a lot to us. I think that's kind of the goal we're actually aiming for right now.
And that was Astralis, a team of individuals who have taken Counter-Strike by storm. They've been around a while, but everything has fallen into place, and hard work, dedication, and the organization have got them to this point. Standing in the ring, and many teams have learned to fear them, and this precision gameplay they bring to the table.
One of the things I think with this team that is becoming more and more exciting is they are getting forced to brawl more. When these guys were on their run and they were looking so clean and concise, it was because they had everything in the right place. Now that some of their moves and playstyle has been figured out, this is when the likes of dupreeh and Magics have to step up a little bit more and get the dirty work done in those mid-rounds. We saw yesterday dupreeh making some amazing plays, and these are individual layers to this Astralis roster that only needs to shine when the going gets tough. Hopefully this means as well we'll get to see a little bit more brilliance out of Zipniks in retakes, but this squad and how well regimented they are, if everything goes swimmingly, they get the utility up, they make the percentage plays every time.
And these percentage plays, Sean, is what we love to focus on. This is where it's just you. Do you want to explain exactly what Chad is referring to?
Yeah, Astralis will always make the high percentage play because they know how rotations, they study your rotations. They know if they use this amount of utility here, you're going to have to leave the location, retreat back into the bomb sites, probably forced to be playing with a teammate. And then because of that, they know your standard setups, right? They then use utility further to like push and pull you around and get favorable situations.
Yeah, one caveat with these guys though is they play better when they can prepare for a team. So they need a lot of information to perform to their absolute best because they can punish those tendencies and the mistakes that you tend to make time and time again that other teams may not find. And that is an issue when you're going up against Made in Brazil, who still have a relatively limited amount of data on them based on the fact that, hey, we did have that player break. Hey, coming out of that, they had a chance to boot camp and reinvent the wheel with Yanko on board.
Yeah, and of course going up against them is MiBR, another roster that's impressed, and one of these is going into a best-of-3 elimination game tomorrow. It feels so absurd to say, but that is reality. Let's hear from MiBR as they prepare to step into the server.
So Yanko, when he joined, he brings the discipline.
And in game as well, he's like really smart. He thinks the same way as almost the same ways as we think about Counter-Strike, about playing in a team.
The addition of YNK helps us a lot. I think his impact is a lot more impactful than what other people have seen.
By watching so many games for the last years, he has a good understanding of how competitive scene looks like. And I'm kind of impressed. There are rounds when you are playing the 5th or 6th round of a match and Yanko's gonna say, hey, because of that, that's most likely coming up. And then sometimes it's just for me because he's on my side and trying to give me inputs, but sometimes I even tell the team and boom, exactly what he said. People readjust just like he thought they would. So it's kind of interesting to see, and he has a brilliant mind in Counter-Strike, so he's been very helpful inside the game as well.
It is MiBR that we now see sounding like Yanko. Our boy from the analyst desk, from the observer den, has been transforming this roster, and a lot of insight actually provided by that one. That does definitely tickle my fancies. Good to hear that Yanko's opinions and analysis from the desks is translated into that coaching role, at least in their eyes.
Yeah, it's good to hear that they appreciate him because we all know that behind the scenes, Yanko's is a brilliant mind in the game, and he has so much information and footage that he's seen in CS.
Yeah.
He understands how every top-level team plays and how to abuse certain setups, how to use utility. So it really makes me happy to see it. He's already working out so well for MiBR.
And you can see the immediate impact of how much it's taken off of Fallen's shoulders. He's back to playing that vintage style with the AWP where it allows him to go for plays where, and also when the calling gets tough, you can always ask for another opinion, and that's something that Yanko has definitely been delivering. Sean, when you were in-game playing, did you have a coach to actually offer up information?
Just for a very little amount of time with Peacemaker.
Because I had a coach, but I became the villain in the team and he became friends with everybody, so it didn't work out so well for me. But I think Yanko gets to be the bad guy and give the negative critique to everybody, and that's what people don't realize. Made in Brazil haven't really had a proper coach ever since Zeus departed.
And that was when they were lifting trophies.
Precisely.
And writing history for their region and for Counter-Strike. So perhaps this is what they needed, another stern coach who can grab them by the ear and slap them on the wrist when things do go awry. And it does seem like as well that when Yanko's forced to watch 6,000 hours of Counter-Strike over the course of his analyst career, some of it stuck.
It sinks in, kind of.
Yeah. I mean, I think so. I think definitely hearing you, Chad, when you're sitting in a green room just sighing and screaming at the same time, it's definitely going to be a beneficial experience.
I've definitely learnt a lot more about Counter-Strike just watching as opposed to being a player, which is crazy to say, but when you are an in-game leader in a team, you only call to the strengths which you can see within your squad. When you watch the best brand of Counter-Strike being played, it all kind of makes sense.
Yeah, it's just kind of clarity, sudden clarity, and the head-to-head will perhaps give you some as well. The players are getting ready and roaring to go. And we do have Magisk and Stewie put up against one another. It's brought to you by The Predator, which is in cinemas now.
Yeah, it's actually a really interesting matchup. We went with a passive player for Astralis Magisk. He doesn't really make too many aggressive plays on his CT side, but like Chad said, they've been playing this brawl style of CS a lot more than they used to, so he could get aggressive. Stewie, on the other hand, is way aggressive on T side, but we didn't see that out of him yesterday on Dust 2. He's like the lurker in B tunnels. He's making plays at the B. He's at the B bomb site now. He's playing the anchor position. So this is a very different Stewie than what we saw in Cloud9.
And I also think both of these players offer something to the team that the scoreboard doesn't reflect. We had a chance to listen to Stewie's communication throughout games, and he was very concise, very clear, and offers a lot in that regard. And Magic's is similar, but he's also that fire up element that Astralis didn't really have before when they had Kirby on the roster.
Right.
And I know, talking to the Astralis guys, that when he's getting fired up and into it, not only does it bring them into it, sometimes he says some things that can be relatively funny. That helps with the mood.
He's a comedian.
Yeah.
He is. Magisk. It's good to see that Astralis do have that light-hearted element. Otherwise, it's take a tactical timeout, and Zonic will tell you an old wives' tale or a joke or two. Still, It is time for that veto, and I'm afraid I can't partake in this because I walked past the monitors.
Oh, you cheated.
Yes, I did, and it's exciting. I'm excited to reveal where this one's going. But what's your theory crafting, Sean?
I think we're going to get left to Inferno, Train, and Dust 2. These are the maps that the two teams have in common.
Right, so it's just a middle ground.
Yeah, MiBR has picked Train against Astralis in the past, and Astralis doesn't really typically enjoy playing Train all that much, so probably not really Train. Could be Inferno or Dust 2.
I'm looking at the last 3 best-of-3s, all of the games they've played so far here in 2018. It's just been Mirage, Overpass, Inferno, Train. Those are the maps we've seen.
Well,
And these
Overpass
guys
is gone.
offline.
Train's gone.
So what does that leave us with? Mirage?
Dust 2 and Inferno. So I'm pretty sure Astralis will be taking out Mirage here. It's one which they made some struggles on through the Challenger stage.
Yeah.
So they're going to get rid of that. And they only played that through the Challenger stage because they knew they'd get through and could play one of their weaker maps. Or at least that's my theory. So between Dust 2 and Inferno, MiBR get the choice. It's going to be Dust 2.
It is indeed going to be Dust 2 because MiBR has told Chad and I that this is a very strong map of theirs.
Yeah, they say in practice they look like the best or feel like one of the best teams. So with that in mind and what we got to see from them against Mouse Sports the other day, they're very calculated in their decision making. It feels like once they take a certain part of the map, they have multiple different strategies they can do, but the game plan is clear. So for these guys, we didn't get to see a huge amount of their CT side, but when you have so many potential players who can pick up the AWP on a map where it can be dominant and take over, there is a really good shot for MiBR to take this one.
Yeah, I'm very hyped. Dust 2 between Astralis and MiBR. They've both played it once. It was a quick win for them both. It was a spirit game for Astralis 16-3, and I want to make sure I get the other one right. It was that game versus Mouseport 16-6. So we've already got a glimpse of it, but MiBR talking the talk. We'll see if they can walk the walk versus the best in the world. Prediction time, though, gents. Time for you to take that walk. And joining us is Jason and Anders. Good to have you with us, gents. And this should be a casting treat for you fellas. You feeling hype?
Yeah, I'm really excited for this one. Obviously, it's going to be... This is a treat. That is a great way to put it, actually. Yeah. I don't have the appropriate word for it.
A nice little treat to end your day. Yeah. Astralis, MiBR, Dust 2 as well. But we have never seen this before. We've never seen Astralis, MiBR on this map.
Yeah, that's the thing that makes it really hard to predict, isn't it? Like, I have a little bit of madness into this one. Dust 2 is the pick. Who's going first?
Roll the dice.
Well, you should go first, Anders, because I feel like...
We know who he's picking.
No, we need you to go to first, Anders. We all had a vote over here.
Yes.
I don't want to go first.
Okay, how about I do that? I
He's
don't normally
picking
do that.
Astralis. I mean,
You go first.
I think MiBR are going to win this one.
I'll make it quick as well. Made in Brazil.
Made in Brazil.
Anders? I already know who you're going for. I'm going with MiBR as well. He's going for Astralis. Just chalk it up on the board. There's no question about it.
I could game the system completely by picking MiBR. That means no matter what, I'm not going to be behind on points, right? So
that's how the system works, I'm sure.
Or you could just completely stab in the back all of your Danish friends.
It is tempting.
Yes.
That doesn't matter to a sociopath like Anders.
That's
No.
true.
I'm going to pick Astralis.
Yeah.
To hell with it.
And I mean, bear in mind, sometimes when this pops up, when it looks like that, that suggests there's an underdog at foot. That's not the case here, gentlemen, and I'll let you tell us why. Jason and Anders, your casters.
This is going to be a great game. The fact that we're on Dust 2, I mean, it was going to be a great game no matter what, right? But throwing that in there is a little bit crazy. And I think from Astralis' point of view, it must be a little bit scary too. There are some of these players, like all of these players, you don't want to face in an open field where aim is the thing that makes the difference.
Unless you're some of the other best aimers in the world. But before we get to that, let's see what the community's thinking, because we know this is going to be a crazy one. The Upcomer app that you guys have all been using throughout this event to keep track and to help kind of vote in and see who exactly is favored and follow all the stats and all that fun stuff, upcomer.com. I mean, I guess if you're going to be players like Fallen, we've seen him have a great tournament so far. MiBR, that's not bad. That's pretty even.
Yeah.
Like, these are the kind of players that would take that challenge. Is Coldzera, best player in the world 2 years in a row, 2016, 2017.
Yeah.
Fallen with the AWP, the things he can do with it rivals that of Device as well. Tarek, Stewie, these guys are great in open fur. A lot of opportunities for him to get aggressive if he chooses to. So there's some really cool tools on this. And just from speaking to these MiBR guys, like after the boot camp, they've just been so supremely confident. Even last night, being part of their kind of thought process of which map it's going to go to, once you get down to those final 2-3 maps, like Sean mentioned, the Inferno, the Dust 2 Train, MiBR didn't really care. They were just supremely confident on each and every one, which I guess is the only way to be at this stage in the tournament.
It is, and I mean, given the kind of talent that they have on this team now, there is no reason they shouldn't be confident And the way that Fallen was playing earlier was just nuts. And on Dust 2, that AWP can get so much space to work with. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Astralis going to be starting on the CT side, MiBR on the T side. Do have a smoke and a Molotov there on Fallen, but otherwise, I mean, it's not bad to have that smoke. No matter where you go, if it's A or B, you want to try and see if you can maybe just close out some of the distance against those USPs. That is a problem that you have to face when you're on the T side on Dust 2.
Yeah, it definitely is. A lot of players outside of Long for MiBR. Initial presence for Astralis above pit, and they've actually kind of fallen away from that, so not entirely sure what's coming. There's a smoke at the base of Banana trying to pull people over. Fallen's playing with fire, though. One random bullet through that smoke could do so much, and that has not pulled enough people away, has it? That has not done enough.
No, he tried to fake it. He threw the Molotov as well, which is a really big commitment in a pistol round. They're out on the catwalk, and now they've been spotted, so the fake has definitely been called. They know what's coming here. And Dupree opening up and taking down Fur is a good beginning, but the battle is not done yet. 4 versus 5, and Tariq and Dupree now having a bit of a fight down there in the pit's glaive as well. They want to see if they can find him, and Tariq feeling the pressure right now, and he's eventually going to get the kill. Oh my god, he takes him down as well! They had him boxed and locked in the corner, and he fights his way out, getting the reload. They ran out of bullets, and now Device is down here, wants to see if he clean it up. He's one bullet away here, Tariq, so it could be back in a 3-on-3. Still need that bomb plant, so now 40 seconds. What a way to begin now. 3-on-3, Sip in the middle. Stewie going to be peeking him. Look at the wrong angle, but he does stay alive. And now, good movement here. Magisk right over the barrel to take down Fallen. And they're running out of players. They need to make this work right now. 28 seconds. And they're still walking back and forth. They haven't really committed yet. I think they might run out of time now. Device is going to be on the bomb site, ready and waiting. Stewie going to be instantly taken down. And now it's all on Cold here. As you said, the best player in the world, 16, 17. But now he's going to have to zip it up. 1 versus 3 with 10 seconds. And oh my god, he does get the headshot. Device will take him down. And that's a good way to start this game, isn't it?
That's so weird, though. I think as close as that pistol round was at times, it just fell flat for MiBR, in my opinion. They didn't ever close the gap on anyone from Astralis. They initially tried that catwalk hit. They got shut down at range by the USPs. This is the only bright spot. And it's Astralis not only pushing into Tariq, but also 2 players from Astralis making mistakes that you don't normally see out of them. So he obviously capitalized on that. But you go back to B, you got to face Magisk. You have no utility. He's on platform, long range, free shots. Go back to A. Device has free shots long range. And that Deagle bullet just whizzes past the head of Astralis players, but long control is theirs. And that will be a fun battle to keep track of throughout this map.
There was absolutely a version of the simulation, Moses, where he kills both in that 1 bullet, but it wasn't this time. Let's see if Astralis can do a good enough job at holding on to these rifles. Definitely makes a big difference. You want to build that CT side economy. This really can be a ridiculously T-sided map. So if you can get the first 3 rounds here in Astralis, you're already doing a pretty good job. Device ducking down, and he's going to be flashed for such a long time. Somehow stays alive, and now the backup is going to be here a little bit. Bomb should be going down about any second, but MiBR kind of want to fight a little bit more. They're actually trying to win the round here. Dupree now close range with the SMG, and the fight looks to be going away of the Danish team. No bomb plant. They weren't just interested in the money. They wanted the upset win here. Device with the triple, and he's one of those players you don't want to have too much of a good start on if you're MiBR. Quad kill in the end, 7-0.
Interesting to see an MiBR not even trying to get that plant even when the smoke goes down.
Yeah.
Not really able to make it work. They wanted a kill or two, really trying to kind of hit the home run, I guess you'd call it. Great control from Dupree and Device, not overextending, just kind of holding the line, and they're rewarded with their patience. Device is having a very good start to this game. 4 kills in that round. I think the previous he'd had 3 in the pistol, so good stuff from him. 2-0 for Astralis. And MiBR doesn't have a whole lot of success in these opening 2 rounds to be happy about. We have to say, I think there's, this MiBR team still has a lot of work, but I think there is like a certain amount of romance to them being back that everyone wants to believe in. You can feel like they're right on the cusp of really inspiring the fans, viewers all over again. This is a huge test for them, though. As confident as they've been, as good as we've seen Fallen play throughout this event so far, this is going to be really, really difficult.
Yeah, but because, in some ways, I think because we're still so early on in that sort of romantic stage, they can take a couple of losses and sort of sweep them off again. I don't think it's going to be sort of like a crumbling thing for the team if they lose to Astralis now. I think that'll just be like, well, a little bit of a hard lesson to learn, but you know, we knew how good they were, so we'll just continue to prepare. I actually think some of the games maybe that they might have ended up playing otherwise later on, like some of the more unknown teams, Windstrike, maybe Vega, those I think would have been harder. I mean, sometimes they were, right?
Yeah.
Tyloo.
Yeah.
I think those were some of the matches that might have been very hard for MiBR to be playing. This one, we'll see how it goes. No AWP yet on Fallen. That is something that I'm personally looking forward to. He's got the AK right now, and they are speeding up towards the bomb site. Just going to force out some grenades early on. This isn't really an attempt to try and get through. And Fallen, taking down Device. He was really quick on the catwalk. Beautiful stuff.
Look at the speed of this as well. The Molotov as well. Xyp9x is going to find an angle. There's two players here. They're actually doing a reverse boost. Oh, it backfires. That is kind of a cool idea. Difficult to pull off, and I don't think they were expecting two players to pinch in. Glaive is still all alone, though, because of Xyp9x rotating over. Tarek waiting outside long, but they need this kill inside the bomb site. No one's considering it just yet. Glaive's going to have a free shot. He gets the kill. First taking out Xyp9x, but he can't win the follow-up. And Tarek, he was being patient. He's trying to be the lurker. He's trying to take out anyone on railing if they have that issue, and now it just kind of falls flat. A clutch situation that he's got to win, and that smoke is going to be difficult for him. One in CT spawn, he tries to find it. Dupree tapping away with the M4. Another solid win for Astralis.
That was actually an incredibly well choreographed round out of MiBR. The initial pressure on B, and then Device gets taken down. They're instantly in the middle. They smoke it off, and they were maybe expecting that Zip was already boosted behind that box, because it is kind of a common play, especially when the smoke goes up in CT spawn, right? People like to stay on that box, so they were ready to fight him. I don't think I've ever seen that attempt, but it's a great idea.
Yeah, the reverse boost over, I think it's designed to put him in that position to pick off the rotators, right? Someone dropping down from catwalk. Good tag through the door onto Dupree, but obviously with Dupree and Xyp9x fighting for mid, that pinch in, Astralis does that very well, and it kind of shuts down that idea, but you can see how it can be so deadly. Very difficult to pull off if the conditions aren't just right.
Good flashbang, and Glaive is going to be lucky to stay alive. He's got a little bit of backup behind him here. Deep grenade going to land on Cold Syrup. He does have armor, so he's going to be fine, at least for a little while. This is a really great opening for Astralis. Again, this can be an incredibly T-sided map, so winning 4, maybe 5 rounds here right off the bat is definitely going to make a big difference. And I think, is Dupree boosted up on that box now?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a common position, so this is something you're going to see a lot. You could look over the smoke, even if they smoke CT spawn, so it's such a viable position in so many ways, and see if Tarek is going to be looking for it. Dupree just waiting. He's standing up and instantly gets his face taken right off.
That shot. Yeah, Tarek was looking for that exact play. But where does MiBR go from here? They don't have any smokes, just the 2 flashbangs. Device, one mistake, and he could be in trouble. They're all positioned on catwalk. Xyp9x is going to be rotating to provide support from below. There's the first, there's the follow-up. Device still living, still just needs to take out one player and survive, and there goes Xyp9x, but Device, without taking him out, it's going to be no problem. Triple kill for the man, for Deva.
For Deva. He's having a good game, 11-1 right now. It's still pretty early on, and because we haven't really got a chance to see MiBR, I mean, they had that one rifle round, but that AWP on Fallen, I still think that's something that I'm looking forward to.
Better come out now. They need it. They need something. We'll see what he can do with it. Doesn't have a great spawn for long, so not going to go for that battle. Smoke for catwalk. Oh, they want to go fast-paced, bombing some flashbangs as well, but it hadn't plumed. It just took a little bit too long, and that rush was ahead of the timing. Great utility from Astralis. They have neutralized any kind of fast play, and there's no progress. Stewie's the only one who has an advanced position, but they're already down a man. It's not worth it.
Even just the initial jump pass for Astralis, right? They see those players coming down suicide lane, so they just know what's coming, and that's not bad at all. Glaive going to be sneaking down into pit. See what MiBR could do. Now, they haven't gone for any timeout yet, and I mean, they don't necessarily have to, but they don't win this round. Maybe they do need to just sort of reevaluate things, because it is getting a bit scary now.
I think it's feeling scary because they've just been outplayed a couple times, and they haven't really found any hope. They haven't really gotten into a solid post-plant position to even kind of challenge for a round. Device with an AWP at the A ramp. Glaive holding long. He's in a great position to be able to flank if need be. And at this point, especially with a 5-on-4, like, Astralis isn't going to give you this pick. Fallen's looking for someone to move out of the B bomb site, but they've already got what they want. They've already got a 5-on-4. No one needs to really find information. It's just force you to execute into a bomb site.
Nice forward play from Glaive down here. He's been doing it a couple of times, but it really does help out. Fallen, the shadow going to be showing, and the pre-fire is in. That was very dangerous, because Fallen could have absolutely hit that shot. The Molotov and grenade combo there, taking down Stewie, and MiBR having a hard time finding the entries, which is usually not the problem that you have on Dust 2 on the T side. Jump down through the smoke, and Tarek will open up, but Device with the return pistols out. Close range against Tarek, and he's almost going to get it done. Now, yeah, he wanted to pick up that AWP, but he's just having a lot of trouble, and Glaive will take him down. 6-0. And I don't know. This is this wasn't not what I was expecting. Not the beginning I was thinking of.
Well, I've got something for you while we're doing this tactical timeout.
Go on.
If you guys want to watch how to play this Dust 2, as Astralis is putting on a little bit of a clinic, check out all those individual POVs. You guys can get the FACEIT Major Premium Pass on Twitch. $9.99, cool little investment. You get all the extra stats.
Definitely
individual POVs can be some really fun stuff, and obviously you get to watch your favorite player. Let's do your Bardolph impression. For those of you in GoTV, who are you watching?
Oh God, I was. You saved me, Moses. I was.
Your mind went elsewhere.
Oh yeah, I was in really deep water at that moment in time. I thought this is going to be bad. I think it's going to have to be. We're going to look for someone to enter into this. I kind of want you to watch Fur, actually.
Okay.
I kind of feel like he's.
That's a bold prediction.
Yeah, he's only got 1 kill right now, but I feel like someone, because obviously Device is getting all the kills right now, but for MiBR to get back into this, it'd be nice to have Fur step it up and just make some sort of crazy entry. Maybe not so much in this particular round. That's going to be slightly tricky with the MAC-10. Usually doesn't do that well long range.
Yeah, Device is really spanking MiBR across this map. He's been phenomenal, and he hasn't seemed to have a single issue with that AWP. The Eagle's out. Let's hope they talk something over during that timeout. I remember after their loss to Tyloo, the big thing that I heard from the guys was we just played so scared, didn't play like ourselves, didn't properly attack the bomb site. And it looks like a similar situation here. It feels like no one on MiBR has a great feel for what Astralis is doing. They haven't seemed to have found very clean fights throughout this whole thing. That might be the best fight they've taken. But they've lost so much HP, even in a victory.
Yeah, this, I mean, it could definitely be a consequence of the map, even though it seems so absurd to be saying, because Dust 2 is sort of the iconic Counter-Strike map, but it isn't now. Like, it's definitely changed just enough that everyone is very uneasy on it.
Well, we haven't seen it a whole lot. That's why, like, half the reason why this, oh my lord, the jump over the spot, Device is going to get bailed out by Glaive. Magisk is under minimal pressure from Tarek. Look at the HPs on MiBR. Even if they're finding these kills across the map, they're not getting anywhere else. And yeah, Device, more easy kills being funneled his way.
16-2.
That's not bad, is it? You're not going to beat Astralis too many times when Device is going 16-2.
He's working on a bit of a, maybe it could be like a legend stage record if he keeps going. I mean, I don't know what the actual record is, Moses, but I'm just saying.
For what? Like frags in a game?
Yeah, or just KDA and a half or something like that.
Okay.
Could be something like that going on. He is certainly hitting those AWP shots. Now Fallen has his AWP back, 7-0 in favor of the Astralis side. Round number 8 coming up, and we'll see what MiBR could do. I'm not counting them out at all yet. Fallen did just see that jump. They commit 4 people potentially for a fight on long. And honestly, some of the teams that we've seen really collapse on the CT side of Dust 2, they have lost long almost every single time, right? So Astralis making damn sure that doesn't happen. They are leaving also now Dupree alone in the B-bomb side.
I love this story of Astralis in this major. Best team in the world coming into it looked so shaky in Challenger, especially off that loss to North in the grand finals of Stockholm. Everyone was getting so giddy, so happy that there was something being shown by Astralis in the way of weakness that gave teams some kind of hope to be able to overcome them. And here in the Legend stage, they've closed that door. They've figured it out. The concept of peaking at the right moment, it seems like they're building up to that really deadly peak.
Yeah, they had a real wake-up call yesterday against Liquid, overtime match that they ended up losing, which was just an incredible game, obviously. We'll see what happens here. Dupree going to be falling back, and the backup is really, really far away. So a couple of good grenades on him, even just the right time flashbang. There are going to be so many people on that bomb site that he can't really recover the aim in time. So he's by the barrels. They do have a smoke and a couple of flashbangs on the other side. He's edging his way in. Smoke going to make that AWP very hard to use, and she could be calling for a bit of backup. He's just going to leave the bomb site. Doesn't really want to fight it, just hoping for one kill as they cross, and he's going to get it too. Perfectly played, especially as Sip picked up the other one. Now just jumping on over. That shot almost connected. That was very scary. 3 on 5 though, and 10 seconds left. MiBR. This is the B bomb site, and it can be held with 3 people. It's not easy, but if you get a couple of entries, it's definitely going to work. Tariq, 1 health left down here in the grenade follow-up, and I think that was their one chance, maybe. They had to have 3 alive. 2 on 5 seems absolutely impossible. Fallen ready for this flank, but he's still going to get shot in the face. And oh my god! What just happened? That is out of control. Again, if they had 3 people alive.
Yeah, or even just Fallen hitting that shot in Halls if Glaive hadn't killed him that quick. What a... I don't even know. That happened so quick. Those shots were perfect from Stewie. It's just...
Is that even legal?
It's almost unfortunate. That kind of a play should win you a round.
He transfers down and then back up again, controlling the recoil. I don't think this is very rare, right? What was that spray? Was it JW on Inferno that continued the spray at the B bomb site? That was
wild as well, wasn't it?
Mental.
Well, finally a post plant, but by the time MiBR gets the bomb down, it's a 3 versus 5, and here they have to find a way to apply some kind of pressure to Astralis. I mean, Zipnik's finding Cold Zera in mid, and then Dupree picking 1 off in that B bomb site. Yeah, the bomb goes down in a retake scenario. You normally think that's going to apply pressure, but just not enough with only 3 players surviving. Here, finally, with long presence, Tariq gets dropped, so kind of that whole thing I was about to go into.
Go on, Moses.
Yeah, it goes away.
All right.
Thanks a lot for that device.
I can feel you were building it up, so.
I was going to try and hype it up. I was going to try and get some positivity flowing and leave it to the Danes to take all the fun away.
Kind of an old strategy on this map, from way before the rework, was, you know, taking long control on T side, leaving a guy pit, then pressuring the rest of the map, and having that guy much later, like, you know, 30 seconds later, he starts to peek up, and suddenly you catch someone off guard, right?
Or it's a great area to fall back to the way that MiBR are doing. As long as you can hold that presence and you know, have the knowledge that no one's there, it's great.
This might be the first time we see sort of a long take. You know, you smoke off the cross, you get over. We haven't really even seen them in a position to do this, so Device going to be jumping on over. God. He sees every single one and takes down Fallen. And he's back for a bit more. The spray through actually does a lot of damage, and Device in a little bit of trouble here. He's going to finally go down, Sip with the refrag, and it's still a 2-on-4, and still looking very good at the moment here for the Astralis team. They need that bomb plant. I can't really blame them for wanting to look for another kill before they do, because it's just so risky. Now they got the bomb, but they can't exit the site, and this is sort of the theory of playing on the A side. You want to get the bomb plant, but then try and get somebody off the site so you can maybe defend it a bit more from range. Fur trying to look for the shot here with the AK-47. Cold Zera picks up 1 good headshot. A lot of damage. This could actually work out, but Meg is coming in from long. Now Cold is all alone with just 32 health left. 1 versus 2, and he's going to get taken down. Such an effort in that round, but it's not enough.
No, you're so screwed if you get into that bomb site and you have Magisk flanking. You're exactly right. I mean, great play from Zipnix on Catwalk. Not even challenging the fight because he knows they can't really attack it. And that's just buying so much time. And once you have them coordinated in the site, the retake is so easy. You know where everyone is. This is a great round from Device. The opening pick, and I don't know how he survives that, but the follow-up kill, he's maybe getting a little bit overconfident with the kind of play that he's brought out with that next angle he takes, but it doesn't really matter. 9-0. And to be touted as the game of the day, the headlining match.
Shows you what we know, huh, Moses? we're hyping it all. I mean, it's not done yet.
No, it's really not.
It isn't over. Remember again, MiBR, if they can just get a good buffer in this first half, get up to 4 or 5 rounds, they win the pistol in the second half, then they go straight into that Fallen and Cold Zera, or I don't even care, just another AWP, right?
Yeah.
Get that up and running. That could be still lethal. So let's not get ahead of ourselves, even if...
I don't know. This one, I wonder if I can change my prediction. Do you think they'll let me?
I won't let you, Moses. You stole that one from me yesterday.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I mean, in a way, I guess. I mean, that was kind of apparent the whole way along, wasn't it?
Was it?
That was the easiest prediction of my life.
Yeah.
That liquid over Astralis. Well, maybe we all just got caught up in the romance, the heat of the moment, the passion. Our boy Yanko in the coaching position, Fallen, returning to glory. Astralis is just slapping them around Dust 2 at the moment.
Yeah, I do think there is. I think there's an element of the map being a factor in this. Not to make too many excuses, but I do think there's something like that going on.
Device has more kills than all of MiBR combined, which is never a good thing.
No.
Never, ever a good thing. And he's looking like he's going for more. He's hungry. Magus, this might be the first time that he doesn't realize what's coming ahead of time. Oh, almost transfers over, but Device is here. He's here so fast, and the rest of Astralis crunching on this hit. It's just Stewie, and he handles Device. Over-aggression, over-peaking from Device, and Stewie with 6 health against an AWP. It doesn't really matter. Surely here he gets taken down, but Dupree, another AWP. The positions of these sniper rifles have backfired. The Molotov, though, might do it. Stewie's going to burn.
Oh, that is completely heartless, and Glaive will take down Fallen. They did, I mean, again, they're really fighting for these rounds, but it is just not enough. It's going to be 10-0 right now. Definitely right on Device. That was, yeah, a bit overzealous, peeking in through the window. Obviously feeling the game quite a bit at this moment, but...
This is the second team ace Astralis has had in this game so far.
Yeah.
Oh, the second one that I've noticed. Could be more, I guess, theoretically. Yeah, Device is at the moment going for a lot of heat check plays, isn't he?
Yeah.
That kind of angle on that A take, which is, I mean, I guess it's fine. Like, he is kind of on fire, so fair play.
Yeah, he's having a...
20 and 5.
In 10 rounds, by the way. That's it's averaging 2 kills per round.
That's pretty disgusting.
That doesn't really usually happen. No. Well then, back on the AKs, back on the grenades here as MiBR looking to pit around on the board. I think now we're really running out of time. I would say 4 or 5 rounds is enough of a buffer that if you win the pistol, you're still competitive. Like, it can swing back that way, but it's time now. Definitely something needs to happen.
It's the fact that nothing has come really that close. I guess that round was probably the closest they've had.
If you took my advice earlier and followed third, would have been the least exciting time. He's gonna picked up a kill since.
Yeah.
I just feel like some of the time he's the one that sort of like shrugs off all of the fatigue and goes for it, and can be a bit more aggressive in some situations.
Yeah, well, you need someone at them. I mean, here's his chance. It's at least, you know, a pretty even duel, all things considered. Like, you know, if you take into account the other fights that MiBR has gotten in this game, if Fur goes up these stairs and challenges Zipnix, that's probably the best opportunity they'll have to be finding a pick. Either way, here comes MiBR working their way up catwalk. But it just seems they've had this control for a while, and they're not really doing anything with it at the moment. Now moving forward, and just going to be a dry peek. Zipnix spots it out, gives it up.
Nobody did to catch him as he backs off. Tarek in position in case Glaive went for that peek, which he has a couple of times into the longhouse, but that's not the case right now. 40 seconds. Grenade landing right on top of Fur's face. That is never a good time either. Glaive just spotting it down here. If he goes down, though, it's going to put so much pressure on Device. We'll see how this works out. 30 seconds now left. They're really not leaving themselves a lot of time to make this push happen. Great flashbangs, great follow-up, and Tarek taking down a kill. Now it's Device. He's so trapped right now, just fighting to stay alive, but Sip is doing all the work on the other side, getting a quick double in. It's now Dupree. They don't have a smoke to cross it. They're quickly running out of time. 10 seconds. They've got to make this run. The bomb is on the other side. He gets one, and Cold Zero, he's looking for the fight. Dupree will take him down, crushing all of the hope. I don't even think they had the time to actually get the bomb. They had to go for it.
They had to go for that fight, which is why you see him. I do not know how MiBR didn't win that round. Zipnix is a god. There had to have been a flashbang somewhere, because Device somehow magically survives. 3 players swing off catwalk in the open. That's so tough to deal with. That was their best chance. Glaive had actually fallen back and given up the long angle. They were in perfect position to get pinched in. Device was open to 2 different angles. I don't know if Glaive saw them come out, but the fact that he didn't stay in pit meant that they could have easily gotten wrapped upon if just 1 kill goes the way of MiBR. And, geez, if they can't win a round like that.
What is left?
Oh, no.
Oh, no. The grenade. That might be a record-setting one. That hit 4 people for 40-plus damage on all of them.
It's done, Anders. It's over. Let's call the game. Someone throw in the towel. It's not worth finishing.
That's a little bit rough. 12-0. Man. Glaive just having so much of a good time, isn't he?
Oh, God.
The easiest quad kill of his life.
Yeah, that was. I mean, it's still pretty nice shooting, all things considered.
So, round number 13 now. Moses has given up all of the hope.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. Well, you don't get to give up in this game, Moses. There's no tapping early. You're in it all the way. Oh, Dupree taking down for just an edge there. somehow it's enough.
Surely they're not getting 16-0 Anders.
I don't know.
Surely not a 16-0.
It sort of feels like that's where...
Not at this caliber. Not as a major as a qualification to the top 8.
It would certainly be nice for Astralis, right? That would make a good entry into the playoffs.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't even know what's happening right now. This is... we talked about some of the confidence we saw. I mean, this is what I'm lacking right now. Fur is one of those players, again, that they should be able to call him. Fallen has usually been... I mean, he should be able to take that long fight, right? Get the spawn once and just go for it. He's got 3 kills right now. Fur's got 1. Flashbang catches Sip, but he's going to be unflashed in time to pick up that 1 kill. So 4 on 3 is Fallen. Oh, that's a nice shot. Taking down Device. That was a job well done. Glaive is still there, and now 38 seconds as they try and make across. Yeah, no smoke again, so they're going to try and see if they can run boost Cold Zero. This is a bit of a dream, and he does get caught in the middle of the lane. Bomb is down. Headshot from Glaive to follow it. He's at 16-3 himself, and that's 13-0. Moses.
Yeah.
I mean, this is...
we're running out of words to really describe it.
Well, I have a lot of words,
while being able to keep our jobs.
I have a lot of words.
Yeah, that was the second half of that statement. This is where it'd be fun to chat with Yanko and be like, so you've had so much fun being a coach. How's it feel right now?
Do you want to rub it in his face a little bit? Because his life is so much better than it was when he was...
Bet you wish you were an analyst now.
Bet he doesn't, Moses.
Shout out Chad.
Yep, indeed. Some team needs to rescue Chad at some point.
Here we go. CZ's desperation for MiBR. Astralis making a statement here in this match.
Yeah, this is a very overwhelming performance. Sip reading the smoke coming, positioning himself at the edge of it. The counter Molotov. Now they're going to boost up in case anyone is on the box there. A little bit of stumble, but they're certainly ready for it. A lot of firepower in the middle.
That's also too dangerous, too exposed to a pop flash to keep for long, so they just give it up immediately. Dupree. There's 3 players in this B bomb site. If MiBR calls this B split, they're screwed. And yeah, they're making the right adjustment. Go towards this A site, but they have to contend with Device. And they've used all their smokes. Again, it's just 1 flashbang. Better blind him for the entire duration of this round because Device is not missing. 1 player's cross, low HP. There finally is a miss. And actually Device forced back. But what are the odds they can actually pull this off?
That needed to be a win, but Tarek alone in the 1 versus 4. Device staying alive on 8 health. So is Glaive. And Tarek about to be shot in the back as well. Just absolutely no chance to make it out. He's going to go down to the pre 14-0. This is so obscene. Yeah, make sure no children are watching, Moses. This is
everyone under 18, leave the room.
Yeah, this is completely out of control. I don't know. They've got 1 last chance, Moses. Get 1 round of the board. Sometimes it starts with something small, right?
It's just crazy to think that a team that has an Opera and Fallen, Stewie, Tarek, and Fur, that you're not able to find a whole lot of openings. Even when you do get them, you're getting stomped. Here comes that long play. They're just trying to get out. Molotov separating. Tarek can't do anything. Oh, that Molotov is going to force Tarek into the open. Though there's no way he survives this without that smoke. They know exactly where he is, and so much utility is being exchanged. What are you supposed to do here if you're MiBR? They're completely caught, and they just have to abandon Tarek. It's literally all you can do.
Leave no man behind. It doesn't really work in Counter-Strike, apparently. Glaive and Meg is following up, and they did try and go back and get him, and it's just not working out. Fallen and Stewie, 2 versus 4. Looking at a 15-0 half in favor of Astralis. This is definitely a whole nother level that they've been playing well enough in this tournament, but we haven't seen this so far. It's a little bit intimidating, I'm not going to lie.
I mean, also, you have to remember, too, this is why a lot of teams have stayed away from Dust 2, even though it is a map that, in terms of, the skeletal structure is very much the same. Just no one really knows who's good and who's not on it at all times. Like, it's that deep into the teams. So a lot of guys just don't want to mess with it. And obviously now we get the idea, and, Astralis, certainly no one's going to dare them. Maybe Big.
That could well be. Good idea for the boost, but Device will take him down anyway. No laughing allowed, Moses. Stewie now in a 1 versus 4.
It's not laughter, it's scoffing. It's what are you supposed to do against Device when he's playing like this? What an obstacle. What just a brick wall at this A bomb site that he's been this entire game. And even Zipnix, the support from ramp has been phenomenal. 15-0.
Nobody breaking into double digits on the MiBR side. Device has got 24 kills at the end of 15 rounds.
And you
Please.
see a little bit of laughter from Cold. I mean, there's nothing you can really do when you're in this situation as a player. This is one of those ones where you're just like, all right, well, not our day.
Moses, I've been thinking.
Yeah. That's never a good sign.
How did someone come up with the word shampoo for a product? It's like a combination of sham and poo, and it's like it's a beauty product, right? So how did they sell that? Seems odd, doesn't it?
It does seem odd. Have you ever looked into it? I feel like a Google search could probably...
No, I thought about it in the shower this morning, and
okay. While you were using the shampoo?
Yeah, and I couldn't keep it out of my mind, so I thought maybe you could help me.
That's the issue. I haven't used shampoo on my head in quite some time, so...
Fair enough, Moses. That is a good way out of it, I suppose. That wasn't even meant to be like a thing, but
sure.
I'm glad it ended up there. Let's see. Oh, well done. Smeg is just not even a chance is there. Can we get the full 15-round reverse sweep, Moses? I'm in the mood for that kind of game.
That kind of freaky stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see. Here comes a pop flash out mid. coldzera might eat it right in the face, but he's more than capable of getting back into cover. Delayed mid to B smoke, spamming through. When you're down 15-0 as well, it might force some rotations that normally it wouldn't. They're going to come up, and coldzera still in CT spawn. They might even do this. Tarek out in the open. It's going to be tough for him to adjust, but he's at least got coldzera to distract, and I think he's done it. Good response from Dupree. Fallen now at range. 2 kills down from MiBR. Flanked from long, and finally, that Astralis pinch does its job.
There is a late flank coming in from Stewie. Fur going to pick up the headshot there. Oh no, Dupree taking down Fur. Now it's all on Stewie. 1 versus 2, avoiding the 16-0. You definitely don't want that. Whatever else happens, just take that little bit of pleasure away from them. Stewie crouching on in, looking for Sip. Instant headshot. Just one left, and Dupree will take him down. And they make it happen. 16-0ing MiBR to make it into the playoffs. Well, I've never seen anything like it.
I'm a bit speechless. I'm not worried, though. The last time we saw this core of MiBR get 16-0'd, they went on a massive run and made it all the way to the finals of that event.
That is true, Moses. We could hope for something similar. Personally, I think we should bring up the graphics of the talent predictions again. I feel like that would be...
Oh, I see. Smug and victory, silent and loss. The Anders Bloom story.
I try and be smug even when I lose. I try and see if I can do that, generally speaking. But,
well, either way, I mean, it's kind of overshadowed by such a dominant performance in a 16-0 win. That is Astralis qualifying to the stage. That's going to put MiBR into the BO3 stage as well. One last chance, and at least it'll be a series, right? You got to be happy about that if you're MiBR. It's not another BO1.
Yeah, I actually think that I mean, obviously you don't play for this. I'm not trying to say that this would be a tactic, but actually, given how they're sort of rebuilding the team, might actually be great for them to play one more best of 3 just to drill through more maps.
More maps, yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously it's scary because you could get eliminated, but could actually help.
Especially with some of the teams that are in that pool, it will be interesting.
Yeah, I don't want to take anything away from Astralis. That was obviously a crazy level they were at, but I do think Dust 2 had a little bit to say in that. Like, just a little bit. I think another map would have been just a bit... I don't know. That was pure madness.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Absolute madness. And we've said enough words. There's not a whole lot you can do to describe that one, and we've done it for long enough. Freya is gonna bail us out of a tough situation, so take it away with the winners.
Thank you, Jason. Yes, that is exactly right. I am here with the victorious Astralis. So, guys, I believe that is the first 16-0 in Major history. How does it feel to win so epically?
It feels amazing, not just to win so epically, but just to go through to the playoffs. Feels amazing right now. We did it in a great fashion, I must say.
Because a lot of the guys on the desk kind of favoured MiBR because of the map pick. Did you guys have some tricks up your sleeve?
I feel like the only time we've lost us 2, I think it was against North. So we feel that we're really good on the map, and that the one loss was just like a one-up that happened just once in a while. So we were really confident going into those 2, yeah.
So I just want to talk about briefly your game yesterday. You guys had such a round deficit, yet you managed to bring it to overtime, even though Liquid managed to close it out. How do you stay so determined, even though it's such an unlikely situation to win?
Yeah, so Inferno is just really T-sided right now. So we knew our T-side was really good, and he has always been really good against Team Liquid especially. So we knew that we could come back if we had the pistol round and such. So we just kept the momentum going and had some pretty lucky clutches, I must say. And they had some lucky clutches in the end as well when we were terrorists. So yeah, it was a great game.
Do you guys have any tricks for keeping that mentality so positive? Because you guys just seem so calm and collected in any situation.
Just never give up. I don't know, like it's really hard to be behind like this big when you're like the best team in the world. Usually you win most of the games, right? So when you're suddenly like losing 13-2, you're like, what's happening? But in some way you still are like, we should be better than these guys, and you still believe, right? And you just grind out the rounds and then it comes, I think.
Now, just moving on to this map, you guys looked absolutely dominant on both sides, but I'm going to focus on that CT because that's where we saw those 15 rounds. How did you prepare coming into this, and what were you focusing on?
Yeah, so we just watched their game, their past recent games on Dust 2, and they actually looked pretty good. So we were excited about going into the match. We were a little bit worried if we were going to play Inferno or if it was going to be Dust 2 again, but it turned out to be amazing for us. But yeah, I feel like we were pretty good prepared, and you could actually feel it in the game that we knew what to do every round.
I feel like you could definitely tell, as the guys on the desk were saying, it seemed like you were leaning 4 players over towards that A site. Was that because you've been watching their VODs and just prepared for them?
Yeah, mostly yes, but also Dust 2 is just really hard to take long control if you're not 4 players towards A. So we try to sometimes mix it up and go 4 towards A. Of course, we want most of the ties to go 2 towards B and 3 towards A, but sometimes when we feel like they're doing an A rush, maybe we should try to go 4A.
Device, you had an absolutely incredible performance there. What allowed you to just dominate on the server?
Honestly, like I played an FPL yesterday on Dust 2, and like I really missed it. It's one of the fun maps as a CT Arbor. Like you have so many good angles and peaks you can do, and you're kind of supportive in a way with the flashes and nades and so on, but you still have so many good peaks. Like I just love the map, and I think that we played really great as a unit, and that sets me up perfectly.
Also, he is always killing like 30 people in practice when we play Dust 2, so we knew it would be great.
I love that. So how are you guys going to be celebrating tonight? That is the big question.
I don't know, to be honest. If we won yesterday, we wanted to go watch a Premier League match, but we don't know now. So hopefully just chill a bit, practice for the playoffs.
So thank you guys so much for your time, and congratulations again on that incredible win. Alex, over to you on the desk.
The first 16-0 in Major history, and it's between 2 top 5 teams. Dust 2 debut between Astralis and MiBR, and for the first time, I think, in my life, I am speechless.
Boys, don't we look stupid? You know, predictions is how everything in life is based off right here. So a lot of
Get
people
your salt out of my analysis.
People need to put a lot of stock in this, but let's be honest, Astralis look absolutely phenomenal in this matchup. Look, in the first 10 rounds of this game, MiBR only found 2 opening kills. One of them was with Tarek on like a weird mix buy. The other one was Fallen with an AK, but most of the time it was instantly traded.
This was so crazy.
I'm pretty sure Fallen only had an AWP 3 times in that first half, and the double AWP setup from Astralis with Device and Dupree locking down both sites was just nuts. It meant that when the defaults were being run from Made in Brazil, they were always getting picked off. It's so difficult, right, with just a team that plays the percentages, knows how to react when map control is taken. This is what perfection looks like.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything else to say. Perfection, Sean?
Yeah, absolutely. Astralis has just played a perfect half of CS. MiBR played a little bit scared. They respected Astralis' utility, as would almost any team in the world. But you have to make risky plays when you play Astralis. Otherwise, Device is going to have 21 kills after 10 rounds, I think it was, or 11 rounds.
It was so precise.
Insane. And, I mean, Astralis is just such an impressive team. I was talking with Dan backstage. These Tier 1 teams, you forget how good they are in group stage, because a lot of times they're not really playing their best games. They're just trying to get through the next stage. But yesterday, we saw Liquid really want to win a game. And the game plan they brought versus Astralis is similar to how Astralis approached this game. This is playoff Astralis.
Yeah.
We hadn't yet seen this beast.
Yeah, I think it was a statement, right?
I don't want to let him finish that sentence without explaining himself. The will to win. I mean, you're talking to me about Astralis basically just.
This is Astralis busting out all the stops, just like Liquid did yesterday. I mean, they were not willing to be a team with 2 losses, playing against potentially FaZe. You know, this is them making a statement.
Yeah, a statement definitely made, Chad.
Yeah, no, I don't think there's anything else really to say here because the game plan for MiBR was very similar to what it was yesterday. They wanted to get long control, they wanted to play those rotations and really squeeze out Astralis, but when they offered up long control, then the guys, you know, kind of just took different map territory and made things really difficult.
It's 2.2 rating from Device.
That's pretty nice. That normally happens when you don't die a lot.
Yeah, I think he died 5 times. No, 9 times. Yeah, 4 for Glaive though, who had 19. Wild. Let's have a look at that head-to-head. We did select it, of course, brought to you by The Predator. It's in cinemas now. And yeah, I mean, we brought Magisk and Stewie 2K. No, actually, turns out Magisk didn't have to do much. He was part of 7 frags, and he did die 5 times. But kill assist traded percentage was high.
Yeah, look, that's a positive right there. Stewie was 0 and 7 at some point. But look, everybody on Made in Brazil was struggling to find an impact. And that is because they seemed... I don't want to say too rigid because that was their game plan. The game plan, it was pretty clear what they wanted to do. That pistol round was unlucky. It could have gone either way. I thought both teams were playing each other very well on the rotations. But as soon as Astralis just built that economy, had the double AWPs up, there was no way in.
Is this just Dust 2 CT side as well? And has started that conversation?
I don't think so. I think this is just Astralis looking amazing.
Yeah,
you know?
And the first gun round, I think when MiBR got an opening pick and they tried to do that weird spawn boost.
Yes.
Remember, like that's not a good way to start.
Yeah, it was an icky start for MiBR, and of course they have been looking hot in practice. This is going to be one humbling experience for sure. Chad, you have selected a demo, and it's called Prepared. So
yeah,
I hope you're prepared.
I just thought Astralis were really prepared for them wanting to take A or take long.
Okay.
So they were doing like 4-man A-lanes that Freya was asking about here, and when they've done that, they've been allowed to do it because the double AWP setup of Dupree and Device is happening. So hopefully we get, there we go, it's happening. So they've got 4 guys over towards long. This is to deny any long presence. They have 3 people there to stop it, 1 guy flashing and helping with utility. Once they rotate back, they're going to boost a player up onto the mid box so he can see over the smokes and he can kill anybody going mid to B. This is also made possible because Dupree has the secondary AWP up. When he runs out of utility, once he's used that Molotov and smoke as the protocols to stop any rushes, he can use the AWP to hold the line. He gets pushed off and plays this perfectly, drops out of the site, isn't offering up a free death by any means, gets a kill, and now it's a 3-on-5 situation. And sure, in this round, Stewie does get an awesome 3K, but this is what happens. Astralis play the percentages, and they're going to come in on this retake and trade off each other really efficiently. But I just wanted to talk about their resilience to lock down that A bomb site, not give any steps in for MiBR over towards long.
And something to say about this round, this setup, is it worked when they played 1 guy B. So they ran it again the next round. And of course, MiBR was going to go A that round because they just got slaughtered at B. So it's like the rich get richer and the poor get poorer.
I'm loving Dupree on that secondary AWP. You know, we got to see a little bit of his ridiculousness. I think it was at Blast when Device didn't show up, and so Dupree was the primary AWPer. But I'm loving that we got to see more of that on Dust 2 because he's pretty damn handy with it.
He's whippy.
He's whippy. We'll take it. And it was quite spectacular to watch Astralis play, but we can have a look at the play of the day. It is, of course, every day we bring you what we consider to be the play of the day. Context and everything. It's brought to you by The Predator. And this one, let's have a little look at this one.
This is the Olaf.
Is this Olaf's hold?
Yeah, he could have even got the ace. He had 6 bullets left in that M4. Wasn't able to find that last kill, but the fact of just playing for that position so well, pivoting and getting all those Tyler frags, nice and easy.
He did make it look so easy. Now, I think, you know, adding on to the fact that this frag is so sexy, as you're about to see, it's just a matter of fact that Olaf is back. I think people were wondering whether we were going to get to see Retro Olaf here at the Major, and I think for any of you who were holding tickets hoping, I can say he will.
Oh, so close to get that last one.
If he gets to the arena. If he gets to the arena, I realize I should add that caveat because FaZe are not safe yet.
That's
we have
true.
today's brackets, and this will remind you how that came to be. It is 6 best of 1s we had today, and we move to the best of 3s. It's crunch time for these teams, and the draw is coming up. So if you want to find out where your favorite team is going to be going, then do stay tuned. NIP, FaZe, and G2 weathered the storm of the elimination games. It sounds like the draw is ready, so gentlemen, get your thinking caps on, and it's time for our lovely friend from FACEIT to jump in and give us that draw. I think it's relatively simple. Go ahead, Rold.
There is a little bit in here. I was trying to look at it and work it out, but I struggle with maths. It wasn't one of my stronger subjects.
G2 can't play Hellraisers.
Yes.
There you go. So that's the only one. I
So
think.
G2 FaZe is already fixed, and NIP is the first drawn.
So we can get NIB versus...
We get G2 FaZe already. That's cool. So now NIP need an opponent.
They could play Made in Brazil, or they could play Fnatic.
Yeah. It's Made in Brazil.
Okay, so that's the tougher of the possible matchups.
Yes.
So the other one will be Hellraisers versus Fnatic?
G2?
No,
No,
so
they can't play G2.
No,
I'm sorry.
G2 are playing FaZe, so it'll be Hellraisers.
So Hellraisers versus Fnatic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just double checking
Should be
that.
as easy as that.
So Fnatic drawn as well for their best of 3. 3 best of 3s, just 3 spots left for the SSE Arena and the top 8.
Heartbreaker between Made in Brazil and NIP because both of them have shown decent form compared to the other teams who are left in this. Obviously, FaZe will be happy they get to play against G2.
Wow, that's actually so crazy. NIP have to play against another team who have been looking fantastic, MiBR. In the meantime, G2 versus FaZe. We'll see how G2 weather a storm of FaZe who are picking up speed, and Fnatic versus Hellraisers.
Oh,
Fnatic's run is an what is it? Vega,
Windstrike,
Na'Vi, and now Hellraisers. They have definitely been getting some intriguing opponents for their climb. A loss to Complexity, of course, started their journey off.
This is going to test the map pool of Fnatic. I actually think Hellraisers probably have a deeper map pool.
Yes.
We know that both of them don't play Nuke, so that goes out of the favor. This is a good chance for Issa and Voxic to really step up and make it to the playoffs.
Yeah, get that complete dream run finalized. We'll be talking more about it when we come back tomorrow. So do be sure to set your alarms and join us as we're going to be finding out who will be rounding out our top 8 of the FACEIT Major live from London. That's all for us now, but we look forward to seeing you tomorrow, and we'll see how that fantastic Counter-Strike continues.